guys, I'm Amy, the founder of Women of Crypto.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jillian, a moderator for Women in Crypto.
Just so, as you guys know, we're wearing the Women of Crypto hoodies. So we're going to be giving them out to some of our holders as well through like different giveaways, as well as we'll have them online like on an e-com shop as well. Just so like all the podcasts, we're basically going to be wearing like the Women of Crypto merch, just so you guys are aware. But yeah, so today's our first Women of Crypto episode. I'm not gonna lie to you, we've done this around 3 times already, and we've decided to redo it every single time. So this is the 4th time we're doing it, the podcast episode. Um, so basically for this episode, how it's going to go is it's going to be more just like a Q&A session interview kind of thing. So where we can almost just go over like the background of Women of Crypto and everything, just like the backstory of it. So Jillian here is going to ask me like a few questions and then we're just going to go over them. But in terms of the future for the podcast, we're just going to be talking about like at the NFT space, current events in the NFT space, upcoming projects, women in the Web3 space, as well as having some influential like women speakers as well come onto the podcast. So hopefully you guys subscribe, tune in, and let's just get started.
Okay, first question. What inspired you to start the collection?
So with Women of Crypto, it really all started when I was in the NFT space as an investor and a flipper. You know, it's a flipper's market. But basically, I was in a bunch of different Discords and a bunch of different communities. And at that time, that's when 3D projects just started, like, taking off and becoming, like, the meta. And I noticed that most of the 3D projects coming out were all male dominated. And, like, most of the time when they were avatars, they were all guys. And I never saw any, like, full 3D avatar woman collections. And I always felt kind of weird about it because I was like, why are there so many male collections coming out but no female collections, And so I wanted to create a project that was more representative of women in the space. And also, like, at that time when I was joining all these communities, I couldn't put up, like, a profile picture of, like, a male avatar because then everybody's calling me dude or sir or whatever. And I was just like, and even when people knew I was a girl, they were like, oh, you're faking. You're not a real woman. You're just, like, putting a woman avatar photo up or, like, your own profile picture just so you can get whitelisted for a project. And so at that time, it was definitely very male dominated. I see now a little bit more integration and diversity in the space, but we still have like a long ways to go.
Okay. Do you think being a female founder has changed your experience a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, for sure, being a female founder definitely has changed my experience. I think almost when I first started Women of Crypto, I was seen as an easier target for like scams and hacks and just different hurdles that we had to go through just because I am a woman and I am young in the space. And so I think for a lot of people, they kind of saw me as like an easy target for sure. And I did deal with like definitely like a lot of people scamming me out of a lot of money and tricking me into thinking that they're going to help me or that they want to do something for Women of Crypto or help us when in reality they were just taking advantage of the fact that they thought I was gullible, and which I was really naive because again, like there's a lack of a lot of education out there in the NFT space, especially as being a founder of a project. There wasn't much information out there on like what an ERC-721A tokener was or how to find a good Solidity developer, how to manage like a huge community or, what to look out for, like the red flags to look out for when you're like building your team. So I definitely had to like learn a lot from like trials and tribulations, but I think that it was all a learning lesson and it created like invaluable like information and education and like lessons for me. Yeah. That I want to like, pass on to our holders as well.
How was your experience when the hack on the Discord happened?
Oh my gosh. I mean, so for those of you guys who don't know, Women of Crypto was hacked 4 days before launch. And the story was actually really, really insane because the people who were hacking us were waiting for mint day to hack us. Yeah. And so basically like when we got hacked, what they did was that they banned all of my team members and it was just me on the Discord, and they basically shut down all the channels and kept one channel up and posted 150 announcements in 10 minutes and were tagging everybody. So then everybody was going and feeling like an urgency to mint. And this is a really, really common hack in the NFT space. It's normally people get the Discords get hacked through a webhook that your mods will click on. So what these hackers do is they go into a Discord and they find like a weak link. They find a weak link within your Discord. And for example, like if a mod or an admin doesn't have like 2FAC on or they clicked a link or a photo or like a QR code that has a webhook in it, they ultimately can enter your account that way and basically like, you know, post these announcements and hack your Discord. And so it was really, really tough because um, obviously like I felt so bad because there were so many people who minted. Like we sold around $200,000 worth of NFTs in 10 minutes from that hack. It was a fake hack.
Yeah.
You know, like they made a fake website of us. We ended up, you know, selling a lot within 10 minutes. And it was crazy because I felt like I was at war with these hackers because we were like saying, don't mint, don't mint, don't mint. And then the hackers would delete our message and then we'd delete their message. And it was just like back and forth, back and forth. But I got really lucky because we had an advisor at that time who actually joined the day before, and he told me that he like called me and was like, Amy, like I have a really bad feeling about your Discord. Like you're giving way too many permissions to people and like the admin access to most of your mods. And he's like, this is not okay. Like, you know, and at that time, I didn't know anything about like Discord cybersecurity or anything. So, and again, like this information isn't really like, readily available for founders of projects. And so I didn't really take it seriously. And then the next morning, we started taking off permissions one by one, like, because he was like, Amy, you have to do this. Like, just trust me on this. As soon as we started taking permissions, the hackers knew that they weren't going to be able to hack us on Mint Day, which is why they chose it to do it at that moment. And it was really, really scary. Like, but our community bounced back so fast. And it just goes to show like how strong Women of Crypto community was. And obviously like we reimbursed everybody that ended up minting from the fake website, and I reimbursed them, you know, whether it was ETH or NFTs. And so, yeah.
No, yeah, I remember actually that morning I was chatting in the Discord, and I just remember the Discord disappearing off my phone, and I thought my phone was acting up. My Discord on my phone was glitching, so I had gone to my laptop just to see if I can get back in. It was gone on my laptop too, so I had called Amy on FaceTime and was like, I can't get into Discord. Like the Discord is off my phone. Like I don't have access to it anymore. And she that's when she realized like everything was disappearing. Like she got
because it was like all within like a couple minutes. I got texts from everybody being like, hey, like why is the Discord off my phone? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I go into the Discord and everybody's like tagging me like, Amy, you got hacked, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I realized we got hacked, and I was like, oh shit, like this is serious.
On FaceTime.
And it was like a very intense hack. Like they deleted all of our channels. They posted like 150 announcements tagging everybody. Like there are some hacks that are like easier to manage, but they put in like I forgot like 25 webhooks into our project, into our Discord, and it was like it felt like we were at war with these people.
Yeah.
And even at that time too, I mean, this is like the biggest lesson I've learned in the NFT space is to not trust anybody, and like you have to do background checks on people and do your due diligence, because during that time as well, I was getting like, I'm not even kidding you, I got like I think like 1,000 DMs, I got like hundreds of emails, like people telling me like your Discord got hacked. Oh, I got money, like, you know, like I minted, I lost money, blah blah blah. And I even got a lot of messages from cybersecurity people telling me, hey, I saw that you got hacked, let me help you. But those were the hackers themselves trying to like hack me even further. And so at that time I ended up trusting somebody who I thought, you know, was credible because he was working for another credible project that I was collabing with, and he ended up putting in another webhook while I was on the phone with him to like hack us again. So it was crazy. Like it was a really messed up situation. And even like to just describe this even further, like these hackers normally also when they hack people, they like will claim that they lost money in the scam to make even more money. So they'll like mint it themselves and like send you the Etherscan and be like, hey, like I lost this amount of money. And
that's
then
crazy.
Like when we were doing like an audit on all the Etherscan links when we were hacked, and we found like quite a few people like lying about minting, and they were actually the hackers themselves. And our Solidity developers are really smart, so they were able to like catch these right off the bat and be like, Amy, no, like these are hackers, like these are the people like that hacked you.
No, yeah, I remember that I had been a mod maybe for like 2 weeks at this point. And I was like, I had been kicked out of the Discord. I was so sad for the rest of the day. I was about like close to crying because I
mean, it was like a super emotional day for everybody because it was like a ton of stress. But I think we had it really, really easy compared to how other projects got it. Like some
Like
projects
caught
lose
it right
millions of
away.
dollars, yeah, because some people don't notice for a while, or like they're sleeping when it happens. So we got super super lucky on the timing of it.
Where I
And
was
then
on the
also like
Discord.
how where like we had people who knew what they were doing, like on an advisory board. So I would say it's the best case scenario, because it could have been way worse. And like I learned so much from that. Like
It helped
I
us.
know now like about auditing us, like the audit logs, and then how to tell who hacked who, avoiding these hacks now. And then also like the webhooks, like what even is webhook, you know?
Yeah.
It's honestly like a really really interesting subject to talk about. I think we can even dedicate like one full episode on this
Yeah.
at one point, because I think it's super important that if you are starting a project, or even if you are like in the NFT space, like actively in there, it's important to
Bring
be
on
able
a team
to
that you can actually trust.
be, well, not that, but
And
to be able to understand like Discord, and you know, look out for like these red flags or even hacks, and be able to distinguish them.
yeah. Okay, so do you think Discord was meant for NFTs or
So Discord, I think before was more like of a gaming community, but I think that Discord, I mean, first glance for a lot of people, Discord can be kind of intimidating, just because there's so much going on, and like so many people in one space, and just like so many different channels and stuff. But I think it's almost what helped build the culture behind NFTs. And so I think Discord is honestly a very essential platform for NFTs in general. And I know that some newer projects coming out right now actually don't even open up a Discord, and they're just minting out just that way. Just because obviously like with Discord, there comes their pros and their cons. Like the pros is you can build like a great community, and you can spread information faster that way. Cons is like, you know, you can get hacked, or there can be FUD, or there can be just like, you know, different things like that. And so I don't know. I think Discord's essential for NFTs for sure.
what are the pros and cons of starting your own NFT project?
So, okay. I mean, the pros, I think it's if you have like a good vision behind it, and you're willing to put in the work, obviously, like there are a lot of pros to it. Like, you know, you're going to meet a lot of great people in the Web3 space. You're going to see the Web3 space in a whole nother perspective than if you were just an investor. Like starting a project just shows you a whole nother world, you know? The type of people that you're going to meet, the type of things that you're going to go through, the type of lessons that you're going to learn is so different from an investor's angle. And again, pros, you're going to build a huge community. You're going to make a lot of friends. You're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to be able to create a group of people who have the same vision and interest as you. Like for Women of Crypto, like obviously like female empowerment in the Web3 space was super important for me, especially because I noticed that there was a huge gender gap at that time. And cons, obviously, it's a lot of stress. Like I've talked to even like some founders that told me like they gave up halfway because it was just so much work. And you have to like, I can't stress this enough, you have to have a solid team behind you, because if you don't, you will not succeed. And I got super lucky because I came into the right people, and obviously I had some, you know, some bumps in the road, and some people who just didn't have the best interest in mind for Women of Crypto at that time. And so I had to learn a few harsh lessons, but you know, at the end of the day, we ended up leaving with us, not leaving, but I mean like ending the mint with a solid team. And now, you know, we're progressing and growing the team even more, and filtering out the people who didn't have like our best interest at heart, or, you know, or weren't willing to put in the work. Because, you know, for 5 months, I literally did not even leave the house. Like my mom was bringing me groceries. I was working 24/7. I think my mental health was like literally at the worst state possible, because I think a lot of people in the Web3 space, there's some topic of conversation about like mental health in this space, but I think that people need to bring more awareness of mental health, especially like even like an investor's angle. Like the whole whitelist grind thing is super toxic and really bad for like, and even like, you know, discords with FUD, it's like it's really damaging to like mental health. And as well as like being a founder for a project, it's literally so much work, like the type of work that, like I always thought I was a hard worker, but that was a type of work where it was like, it was really like, it felt like a boot camp for 5 months, you know?
It tested
It
your
was like,
resilience.
it was testing my resilience for sure, because I dealt with a lot of bumps in the road and a lot of stress. Like I remember my immune system was so down. Like I literally was getting sick all the time. I was getting my like food delivered. I did not leave the house. Like literally did not even step foot outside for like 5 months. I would sleep maybe like 3 hours a day because it's like you're dealing with people who are international too. So it's like you have to work like 20 hours a day. And at that time, like, you know, we went through a lot of stress. And it might not be for everybody, you know, like it just depends on what you're willing to do and to how much work you're willing to put in. But at the end of the day, it's a super fulfilling thing.
No, yeah, I remember after the hack, it really tested our resilience because we cut out all the international mods, and it was just our LA based team, which is our little group of friends, like 6 people that we literally, I probably got max 5 hours of sleep in a 3-day time span.
Yeah.
And that really tested my like work ethic, resilience for just working. Like even my mom's like, when are you going to come out of your room? When are you going to stop working? I'm like, I can't, like, I have to just grind it out.
Yeah.
And it's a really 24/7 job working in this
I mean,
space.
even like the week before Mint, I think was the most intense period for Women of Crypto because that was like, you know, when we had to deal with like the whole Mint aspect of it. And even now we have a lot of work, but it's not like what, because the thing is, after the hack, we were so paranoid that we cut out everybody who worked with us internationally. And so we only had our LA based team. So I had everybody literally move into my apartment, stay with me. We had mattresses on the ground. Everybody was sleeping on mattresses on the ground. We were sleeping on the couch, mattresses on my bed, like, and taking turns sleeping. Like it was like someone would say from like 11 till 2 they'll be sleeping, and then the person would shift, and it was like a shift, you know. And at the end of the day, it was very rewarding. Like we built a very strong community. We made a lot of friends, and it definitely created like lifelong lessons and experiences.
Like I would not trade this experience for anything. Like yeah, probably the hardest work I've ever done in my life, but it is the most fulfilling work I've also done in my life. And I get to work with like some of my best friends who I consider family. So I wouldn't trade this experience for anything else. Moving on, how was the journey of growing our community so organically in the Discord and still growing it?
So the biggest thing that I've learned is pre-mint marketing and post-mint marketing are very different things. E-com marketing and NFT marketing are very different things as well. And so I had to try so many different things to grow our community, because at first it was very slow, and then finally something clicked and, you know, we were able to grow our community. But NFT marketing is a very, very, I wouldn't say complicated because it's pretty straightforward, but it's also a very like niche based marketing tactic that you have to do. And obviously at that time, like even from the like starting a project, I didn't know even like, you know, the structure I had to do. So I had to learn a lot within the few months I was building Women of Crypto, like how to, like what an ERC token was, what a Solidity development was, like how to build a Discord up, how to build a community, how to market an NFT product. Like these are all things that like, it's like running a business, because it is a business at the end of the day. Like right now, Women of Crypto has around 23 employees. And so it's crazy. Today. So I think what was like super inspiring was that so many people within our community was so dedicated towards like our bigger vision of bringing in women into the space. So we did have a lot of new Web3 women come in. And, you know, I would get DMs every day, people being like, I finally found like an NFT project that I resonated with, because, you know, at that time there were so many like male projects like that had like male characteristics, and like obviously as a woman, like when I would look at them too, I wasn't super excited about them. Like they were cool, but it was like, dang, like I don't really relate to that. But I wanted to create a project that people related to, especially women. And so a lot of women were coming to me being like, this is my first project, like I love this project and I resonated with it. And even a lot of guys were messaging me being like, I got this from my sister, from my daughter, from my wife. And they're super excited, like, because the best way to get into the NFT space is by buying your first or owning your first NFT. That's how I got in, you know? Like, I mean, I learned a lot, and then I got my first NFT, and that's when like my whole obsession for NFTs started.
Oh, yeah. I actually was brought into the NFT space because of Amy. Like, I didn't really know anything about it because I didn't really have the brain capacity to sit down and dive right into it, because it takes a lot of work to build the knowledge of it. It takes a lot of work to understand the terms that are used every day, like rug pulling, minting, whitelist. Like, it took me a while to understand what those meant. And I just remember me and you just sitting down talking about NFTs. It was probably on Christmas, that she's like, oh, I'll just send you all the resources I learned from, and once you learn, I will give. And then she gave me the Women of Crypto Discord, so that I just started talking and chatting in that, like bonding with the community, like as like we kind of kept it on the download that I knew Amy personally.
That everybody's gonna be asking her for whitelist spots.
Yeah, like I didn't want people to know that I knew Amy personally, because I didn't want people to be like, oh, you only made it on the team because you know the founder personally. You've known the founder for 2 years. She has bias towards you. And yeah, I learn every day that I work. Like, I'm totally open to criticism, totally open to things I can do better, because I don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly building my knowledge through the work I'm doing. So.
I mean, it's such a new space too. Like, most people don't know everything, because it's impossible. It's growing every day, and they say like in the NFT space, like 1 week is literally like a year in the NFT space, you know? But yeah, I mean, I think Jillian makes up a really good point, is that for me, even when I started not even when I started Women of Crypto, but even when I got into the NFT space, I joined a bunch of communities, and I would just ask so many questions, like, what's a whitelist? What's this? Like, how do I get whitelisted? And that's how I learned the most, is because by making friends and talking to people. That's kind of what Jillian did too. Like, we were at my boyfriend's Christmas party. It is my boyfriend's cousin, Jillian.
Oh yeah, hi.
But and we were talking in the Discord. I remember at the Christmas party, I was already when I started Women of Crypto, so I was like trying so hard to be present, but I had to also run like the community. So I was like on the Discord, and she was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "This is my NFT project." And I sent her a list of videos to watch, and then she came over, and then she started chatting in the Discord, and I'm like, and I saw like how hard Jillian was working to learn about the NFT space. And I was like, why don't you come work for us? You're going to learn a lot. And actually most of my friends ended up working for me. And, now like we're almost all NFT experts, because you learn a lot when you're starting a project, because you see it from not only the outside perspective, but also the insider perspective. And it's crazy. Like, it's honestly, I think, the craziest period. It's like they call it the Wild West in the NFT space, because it is. And everybody's still growing in this space. Everybody's still learning, and I'm just excited to see like what the future holds.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Like, what you said, like, we're probably like more NFT experts now. Like, I talk to my parents, and they're like, what are you even saying? Like, because I talk so much about I'm in love with the NFT space now. Like, even though it can be stressful, even though it can be like taking a toll on your mental health sometimes, and I have to step away. Like, there's been some days where I text you and I go hard on the Discord, like, and I'm like, Amy, I just need a couple days. Like, I can't like talk today. Like, I broke down sometimes, because like people can be so mean when they want something. They can like take into account that they forget you're a human being and forget you have feelings.
Well, that's also, I think, one of the worst, I would say the cons of the NFT space is that a lot of people are anonymous. And so they're willing to be more outlandish. Like FUD in the NFT space, I've seen in a lot of different projects, including Women of Crypto, obviously. A lot of FUD and a lot of toxicity. But of course, it's easy to say whatever and, act however you want when you're behind a fake name and a PFP.
Yeah. When me and the whole team are
exactly.
doxed.
But when you put yourself out there and you're vulnerable, I don't think people understand like how tolling it can be on your mental, to have to deal with thousands of
people in my ear, and
that's
exactly what I deal with on a daily basis, because I'm the moderator.
But it's understandable, because Women of Crypto is not perfect. We dealt with a lot, and it's all a learning lesson, and we're trying our best, and we're learning from everything that we've made mistakes on, and we're just going to continue growing from here, and continue executing everything that we have planned for you guys. And so
So, it looks like I skipped a question. What is Women in Crypto's plans for the next few months?
So we actually have a lot, and I think the next month's gonna be the most action packed for Women of Crypto.
April is like
Yeah, April's gonna be the most packed. So we
April's
have
like
the
our
loot
month of
box.
consistency, we said.
Yeah, so we have the loot box coming out in April. The loot box is gonna essentially hold a token for Women of Crypto, like a Woman of Crypto token. It's gonna hold a whitelist spot for a project, and as well as it's gonna hold a physical, tangible product. So we partnered up with this teeth whitening company. And basically, we're gonna send out all of our holders a free teeth whitening kit, and it's gonna have like Woman of Crypto packaging. It's gonna be really cute. We're gonna be on the website for the company. And so yeah, of course, it took a few months probably to get this all together because again, like we're not only dealing with our inside team, we're dealing with a lot of outside factors as well. And I think people don't understand that that's why it takes so long. And that's why sometimes it's hard to give you guys updates and stuff because we're not only doing it within ourselves. It's like we're dealing with China, we're dealing with like different countries, we're dealing with people who are doing like solidity development in the staking mechanism, they're dealing with like other projects, stuff like that, and our artists and our trailers, like these are all things that not only depend on us but also them as well. And Men of Crypto is also coming out at the end of April. That's going to be a free mint for all of our Women of Crypto holders, as well as Men of Crypto trailer 2 is coming out in a few weeks, I think like in a week actually. Yeah, and just obviously the podcast we're going to be continuing, and something I actually also am going to be doing is continuing our YouTube channel because I want to create more basic fundamental videos. Oh, sorry, I forgot the most important thing, the app too. The app is going to have the educational videos on it, and that's actually also going to be done in April. So I think we're going to be throwing a lot at you guys in April, but
I think you guys would like.
You guys have been waiting, so we owe that to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do have the app coming out, but aside from that, I'm also on the media side of things. We're going to continue obviously like our merch. We're going to open up an e-com store as well as a YouTube channel where I'm going to be teaching more fundamental NFT videos for people who want to come into the Web3 space, and I think that would be good exposure for Women of Crypto as well.
Also that, and also I just started like a TikTok page where I'm going to be posting like more maybe not like NFT related content, but more personable content with the team, so you can guys kind of can get to know us more and get to know our personalities more, rather than on Discord behind a screen. You can like see us be like interact with each other in the videos as well. So also I'll be doing that. I'm starting to post like 3 times a week consistently as well.
Okay, guys, so that was it for today's podcast. Hopefully this was a good first episode. Again, this was like our 3rd time filming it, but
my first time on camera.
Her first time on camera, but so we had like our other team nervous. In it.
Yeah.
But again, for the future of the podcast, we're gonna be talking Web3, NFT projects coming up, women in the Web3 space, having, other women in the Web3 space come in and, speak as well. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. And this is just the beginning.
Yes.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.